welcome to Breathe Yoga. Today's practice is going to focus on the low back and hips, and we're going to move very slowly. So my intention for you is to just focus on your breath and listen to your body. We're going to start our practice lying on our back. So go ahead and find your way to a comfortable position on your back. So you can have the legs extended into Shavasana if that feels good to you. If you need support for your lower back, just go ahead and bring the soles of the feet to the floor. You can even widen the feet, let the knees fall in if that feels good to you. Or you can open up through the hips, bringing the soles of the feet together in Supta Baddha Konasana. Today, I'm just going to lie flat into corpse pose. So just take a moment to wiggle around until you can allow your body to be supported by the earth rather than holding yourself up. And once you find that place that you've settled in, take a cleansing breath. Big breath in. Open your mouth, exhale, release. Again, inhale through the nose. Open your mouth, exhale, release. And one more time, and this time as you sigh, don't be afraid to make noise and just let your body melt into the earth. Big inhale through the nose. Hold, try to take in a little bit more air. Open your mouth, sigh, and release. Now from here, just begin to breathe in and out of your nose, relaxing your jaw by putting a little space in between your teeth. If your tongue is pressing hard into the roof of your mouth, relax your tongue. So today as we practice, I want you to focus either on the color red or the color orange. Whichever color speaks more intensely to you today, that's the color I want you to focus on. A few more rounds of breath here. Now slowly begin to bring the soles of the feet to the earth, feet about hips distance apart. Maybe adjust your hips if you need to, a little gentle rock side to side. Let the range of motion be small to begin. The next time you come back to center, hold, take a breath. Exhale, pull the knees in toward the chest, and then pull the forehead up toward the knees, rounding into a little ball. And then slowly allow the shoulders to return to the earth and give yourself a little rock side to side over the spine. Now from here, extend the left leg long, letting the left heel rest on the earth, keeping the right knee pulled into the chest, hands wrap around the shin or the knee, and begin to point the toes of the right foot and then flex the foot, pulling the toes toward the face. Staying rooted and connected to the breath. Begin to spread through your toes, curl the toes, and then start to make rotations with that right ankle. Make sure you give balance to that joint by moving in both directions. Take a round of breath in and maybe exhale, pull that knee a little closer to the chest. Remember slow movement, really focusing on the breath. On your next exhale, pull the knee up and out toward the armpit. Move slowly into the pose, noticing any tension in the inner thigh and the connective tissue around that right hip. And then on your next exhale, slowly let that knee come back in line with the hip neutral position. Take the left hand on the outside of the right knee, right hand presses palm down into the earth, and then just slowly start to pull that right knee across the body. Listen to your body here. That's why we're moving slowly, so you notice where your edge is. Breathe. Try to keep that right shoulder planted into the earth. You can let the right foot rest wherever it feels comfortable, on the inside of that left thigh, on the earth, if your flexibility allows you to completely stack the hips. Jaw is still relaxed, still moving slowly into the pose, and feel free to hold wherever it feels good to you. Take one more round of breath here. And then slowly start to bring the right foot to the earth, then the left. You're going to feel like you're on your left hip. So lift your hips, place your hips back down. Let the knees rock side to side, a little windshield wiper of the legs. Maybe the range of motion is a little bit bigger this time. And then as it feels good to you, come back to center. Take a breath in and exhale, pull the knees in toward the chest. On your next exhale, pull your forehead up toward your knees, round into a little ball to stretch the muscles that support the spine. And then slowly allow the shoulders to return to the earth, keeping the knees tucked into the chest, a little walk side to side over the spine. And then as it feels good to you, you're going to extend that right leg long, letting the heel rest on the earth, hands wrap around the left shin or the left knee. And just notice which side feels tighter than the other. And then as it feels good to you, point the left toes, pull the toes toward the face, flexing the foot. Breathe. Spread through your toes, curl your toes. And then as it feels good, you can start to make rotations through that left ankle. Take a breath in. As you exhale, maybe pull that left knee up toward the chest just a little bit more. Listening to your body, jaws relaxed, tongue relaxed, still focused on the breath. On your next exhale, start to pull the knee up and out toward the left armpit. Again, slow movement, noticing where your edge is. Breathe. And now slowly allow that knee to return back to a neutral position in line with the hip. Take the right hand on the outside of the left knee, left hand presses palm down on the earth, and slowly begin to pull the left knee across the body, stacking that left hip on top of the right. And know that one side of your body is going to feel different than the other. That's normal. So just go to the place that feels good to you. Take one more breath here. And now slowly release that left foot to the earth and then the right. Again, you're going to feel like you're on one side of your pelvis. Lift your hips, place your hips back down. Take a breath in. Exhale, hug the knees into the chest. Pull the forehead up to the knees. Now slowly allow the shoulders to return to the earth, soles of the feet to return to the earth, about hips distance apart as we prepare for a bridge pose. Reach down, try to graze your heels with your fingertips. Roll your shoulders under so the space between the shoulder blades lifts off the mat. And then notice if you're arching through the back. If you are, press the lower back in toward the earth. Take a breath in. Exhale, lift the hips into bridge pose, pressing through all 4 points of the feet, kind of squeezing those thighs in toward one another, pulling the navel to the spine to protect the low back. Try to keep the chin out of the chest here. And if you feel like you need more through the chest, through the shoulders, you can roll the shoulders under even more. Take your hands underneath you, interlace your fingers, press your fists toward your heels. When you get tired of this, there's no rush. Release your hands and then slowly lower down one vertebrae at a time. Let your hips be the last thing that touch the earth. Untuck the shoulders and then allow the knees to fall out into Supta Baddha Konasana. Soles of the feet touch, pinky toe sides of the feet rest on the earth. And then take your right hand to your belly, your left hand to your heart. We're going to take 5 rounds of breath here. Try to let that hand that's on the belly rise before the hand that's on the chest. Each round of breath a little bit longer, a little bit deeper than the last. One more breath here. And on your next inhale, slowly pull the knees back to center. You can use your hands to help your legs get there if you need to. Exhale, hug the knees into the chest. Cross your ankles, rock forward and backward, coming into a seated position, or you can roll to the right and press yourself up if you need to. And then cross your legs the opposite way that you would normally cross them. Bring your fingertips out in front of you. Tilt your tailbone back to create length in the lumbar spine. And then once you sit up nice and tall, lift up through heart center. Shrug your shoulders up and roll them down and back. Let's do that again. Inhale, lift. Exhale, down and back. And this time with a big cleansing breath. Big breath in, lift through the shoulders. Exhale, sigh and release. We're going to keep our hands palm down today, wrapping the hands around the knees. And just take a moment here to close your eyes, relax your jaw, connect to your breath. On your next exhale, slowly drop your chin down toward your chest. And then from here, you're going to bring your chin around to the right shoulder, starting to press into a circular motion. Lead with your heart, pressing your heart forward, rotating through the pelvis, and then bring the chin around to the left shoulder and across the chest. And so just continue this circular motion as it feels good and natural to your body. Try to let the breath lead the movement. There's no right or wrong way to do this. These circles can be small or they can be big and exaggerated, where you're pressing through the hands to stretch through the shoulders, through the arms. So what we're doing is we're releasing synovial fluid in the hips and just kind of loosening up the connective tissue that supports our pelvis. Breathe. And just observe your body. Is there any clicking, any popping, any place that you feel a catch? A couple more rotations here. And then the next time you come back to center, hold, and then lift up through heart center. Take a cleansing breath. Big breath in. Exhale, release. And just take a moment to experience the sensations within your body. Slowly drop your chin toward your chest. If your eyes are closed, flutter your eyes open. Take your hands behind your back. You're going to uncross your legs, bringing the pinky toe sides of your feet to the edges of your mat. Windshield wiper through the legs. Exaggerate, kind of press down through the legs and get rid of any tension that we created from sitting in a cross-legged position. Now cross the legs the opposite way that you just had them. Sit up nice and tall by tilting the tailbone back, lifting through heart center, wrapping the hands around the knees. Relax your shoulders. Take a moment to close your eyes and reconnect to your breath. On your next exhale, drop your chin toward your chest. This time you're going to take your chest around, or your chin around to your left shoulder, leading with the heart, pressing the heart forward. Bring that chin around to the right shoulder and then across the chest. So same thing, but it may feel completely different from one side to the other. Breathe. What I want you to observe is which side feels more fluid, more natural to your body. Notice what's going on in the low back, around the SI joints. Notice if you're holding your breath. Again, there's no right or wrong way to do this. Your circles may look different from mine, but as long as it feels good, you're getting some movement, you're breathing, that's all that matters. Take one more rotation. And then the next time you come back to center, hold. Lift up through your heart center. Take a cleansing breath. Big breath in. Exhale, release. And just take a moment to be present. Slowly drop your chin down toward your chest. And if your eyes are closed, gently flutter the eyes open. Take your hands behind you, again bringing the feet to the edge of the mat, and windshield wiper the legs to work out any tension we've created through the hips. As it feels good to you, no rush. Come forward into tabletop position. Hands under shoulders, knees under hips. Look back in the space you've created with the legs. Scoot the feet where you can't see them. Durga or cat-cow. Begin to inhale, lift the heart, lift the tailbone. Just go to a place that feels good to your back, your spine. And as you exhale, tuck the tailbone, navel to spine, chin to chest, round out through the shoulders, pressing through the hands. We're going to take 5 more of these, just slowly moving through space. Remember, there's no rush. Stay connected to the breath, really focusing on letting the breath guide the movement. Two more. One more time. And then slowly find your way back to a neutral spine. Adho Mukha Shavasana, downward facing dog. Curl the toes under, lift the tailbone up and back, press your chest toward your toes. Take a couple rounds of breath here, pedaling through the feet, working out any tension down the backs of the legs, and then settle into it for a couple rounds of breath, making sure the big toe sides of your feet are parallel, pressing your chest toward your toes, lifting your tailbone up and back. On your next exhale, bring your knees to the earth. Find a child's pose. Big toes touching, knees apart. Sit back on your heels. Widen the knees to a place that feels good to you. The wider the knees, the more of an inner thigh stretch you'll experience. And then just let your forehead rest on the earth. Give yourself a little rock side to side, hip to hip, and eyebrow to eyebrow. And then take a moment to settle in, taking about 3 rounds of breath here in child's pose. As it feels good to you, begin to walk your fingertips forward, stretching through the shoulders, pressing through the finger pads more than the palms of the hands. And then take your time, start to walk your hands to the right hand, your head, placing your head back down, and let that stretch happen all the way from the left hip. Breathe. One more breath here. And start to walk your hands back to center. Take your time all the way to the left. And just observe which side of the body feels tighter than the other today. One more breath. Slowly make your way back to center. There's no rush. And then as you're ready, draw your hands underneath your shoulders. Press yourself up to a seated position. We're going to bring the legs around in front of us and extend the legs long. Roll your thighs in. Sit up nice and tall. Flex your feet. Lift up through heart center. Take a breath in. And exhale, start to hinge forward into the hips. Now, if you need a strap here, feel free to wrap a strap around the balls of the feet. Again, inhale, lift just slightly. And exhale, pull forward. So continue this process for about 3 to 5 rounds of breath until you find your point of tightness. As it feels good to you, press your hands into the earth or your legs, just avoiding pressing on the knees. Walk yourself up, pressing through your hands rather than using your low back to lift yourself up. And then once you get to the top in Dandasana or staff pose, lift up through heart center, flex your feet, big breath in. Exhale, release. Slowly drop your chin toward your chest and start to flutter your eyes open. From here, bring the soles of the feet to the earth. Scoot your hips to meet your heels, lying straight back. Go ahead and hug your knees into your chest. Your left foot to the earth. Cross your right ankle over your left knee for a figure four or glute stretch. So this may be enough for you here. If it is, you can stay here if this feels good. Just flex that right foot. If you need a little bit more, take a breath in. As you exhale, pull the left knee in toward the chest. You'll reach the right arm through the figure four space, interlace the fingers underneath the left knee, and start to pull that left knee in toward the chest. Take one more breath. And then slowly release the left foot to the earth. Then the right. We're going to take a little windshield wiper of the legs. Come back to center. Cross the left ankle over the right knee again. Stay here if this feels good to you, flexing that left foot. Or take a breath in. And exhale, pull the knee in toward the chest, reaching through the space you've created with the figure four. Try to keep your upper body relaxed here. Keep your jaw relaxed, your tongue. One more breath. And then start to bring that right foot to the earth, then the left. Widen the feet to the edges of the mat, and then allow the knees to fall to the right, and just let the weight of the legs pull on the hip. If you feel like you need more once you get there, you can take the right ankle and place it on top of the left hip or left thigh just above the knee. If you get there and that's too much, just let that right leg slide back down to the earth. Now slowly release that right foot if it's on top of the left thigh. Inhale, knees to center. Exhale, knees to the left. Take a moment to check in. And then if you need more, you can take that left ankle, place it on top of the right thigh. One more breath here. Allow that left foot to slide to the earth. Inhale the knees back to center, maybe a little windshield wiper of the legs. So from here, you can allow the legs to extend. You can move into Supta Baddha Konasana with the soles of the feet touching, or keep the soles of the feet on the earth, letting the knees fall in. If you can take about 5 minutes here just to rest and be present, to breathe on your mat, do that. If you need to follow me and you do not have time for corpse pose, go ahead and hug your knees into your chest, cross your ankles, rock yourself up to a comfortable seated position, and then sit up nice and tall. Lift up through heart center, shrug your shoulders up, roll the shoulders down and back. And from here, we're going to turn our palms up so you get a natural external rotation of the shoulders. Close your eyes and just take a moment here to breathe. We're going to take 5 full rounds of breath. We will close our practice today by our breath. When you feel ready, inhale, sweep the arms up, big breath in. Exhale your hands to your heart. This breath is for a relaxed body. Inhale, sweeping the arms up, exaggerate, take up space. Exhale your hands to your heart. This breath is for an encouraging mind. Again, inhale, sweep the arms up, create space. Exhale your hands to your heart, breathing for a replenished spirit. And we'll take one more breath. Inhale, sweep the arms up. Exhale your hands to your heart. This breath is from me to you, a breath of my gratitude and thanks for joining me on Breathe Yoga. Have a beautiful day. Namaste.